The ultra-wealthy aren't flaunting their riches, they're mastering the art of invisible habits. What sets them apart isn't the marble bathrooms or private chefs, but the quiet, relentless systems they've built to protect time, energy, and mental clarity. Sound surprising? Let's break it down. But here's where it gets controversial. These aren't just secrets for the elite. Many of these habits are accessible to anyone willing to trade chaos for consistency. The real question is, why don't more people adopt them? Is it laziness? Or do we overcomplicate what wealth even means? During my time working in a high-net-worth household, I witnessed firsthand how ordinary routines become extraordinary when done with precision. The family I cared for had more staff than a boutique hotel. But the magic wasn't in the staff, it was in the patterns they created. Art, yes. Pools, definitely. But the true differentiator? A lifestyle built on margin, automation, and intentional boundaries. Time, the invisible currency they guard like gold. The biggest flex in that house? Empty mornings. At first it baffled me. How could high-achieving parents have such open calendars? Then I realized they weren't not busy, they were strategizing their busyness. Deep work blocks, family rituals, and even naps were protected with the ferocity of a bear defending cubs. Random requests? Automatically delegated or deleted. Calls were batched. Meetings had strict time limits. If a voice memo could suffice, a 60-minute meeting never happened. This wasn't laziness. It was margin, the space between obligations that lets creativity and relationships breathe. I felt it most during school drop-offs. No frantic scrambles for shoes, no last-minute sandwiches. The calm wasn't accidental. It was engineered. Automation, the silent workhorse. This family treated systems like oxygen, essential but invisible. Groceries, scheduled. Bills, auto-paid. Even the 7-year-old's wardrobe was curated to eliminate daily dress code negotiations. Their shared household note was a living playbook, bedtime scripts, go-to meals, and a step-by-step guide for calming down post-soccer meltdowns. Willpower, not needed. The system made the right action effortless. Privacy, a practice, not a posture. Contrary to stereotypes, the ultra-wealthy in this home were private by design. Doors stayed closed. Staff were addressed by first names. Family details never left the house. Social media posts were rare and carefully curated. Not for likes, but for connection. Security was layered and understated. The lesson? Privacy isn't about hiding. It's about choosing what to share. I noticed it most with the kids. Their art was celebrated at the dinner table, saved in labeled portfolios, and never posted online. Presence, not performance. Calm homes equals clear defaults. Money doesn't buy calm, clarity does. In this house, every recurring moment had a default. Breakfast, backpack checks, and a script for handling emotional meltdowns. We think freedom is about making every choice fresh. In reality, freedom is about deciding once. These defaults didn't restrict life, they expanded it. When chaos struck, lost stuffed animals, flight delays, we didn't panic. We ran the playbook. Money buys better questions, not louder answers. After a tough homework session, the mom didn't ask, "How do we fix this?" She asked, "What would make this easier every day, even when we're tired?" That shift changed everything. We didn't search for genius tactics, we designed for weak moments. Math practice became 2 micro-sessions with a trampoline break. Cleanup had a 5-minute timer. Supplies were stored nearby to eliminate friction. Better questions shrink big problems. Gracious boundaries, the art of saying no. The word that kept showing up? No. Not to opportunities, but to things that eroded their pillars. Family dinners, sleep, meaningful work. Boundaries weren't defensive. They were kind and clear. Kids learned this too. No screens in bedrooms, no rushed weekends. Boundaries created space for what mattered. Food as fuel and values. Lunches were intentionally boring, nutrient-dense, predictable, easy. A cut fruit container sat at kid eye level. Sunday stews became Monday bowls. Yes, they ordered in, but the default was meals that steadied bodies and minds. There was a values angle too. The kids learned where food came from. Helping rinse spinach taught them about supporting local farms. Food wasn't a battleground, it was a rhythm. Teaching kids to delay and earn. The reward for mastering routines? Choosing Saturday's family activity. Allowances were tied to habits like reading and chores. When the 7-year-old wanted a science kit, we mapped a timeline. Earn it by making her bed, reading daily, and helping with dishes. Desire wasn't the enemy. Impulse was. This skill? Rocket fuel for adult life. And it's free to practice. Learning loops, the obsession with iteration. The dad's tiny notebook labeled postmortems changed everything. After every trip, party, or stressful morning, we spent 90 seconds asking, what worked? What to tweak? It turned travel with kids is hard into actionable solutions. Snacks in front pockets, extra downloaded shows. Micro failures stayed small. Fun stayed big. I stole this loop for my own life. Training runs, deadlines, grocery budgets. Perfection isn't the goal. Iteration is. Generosity, systematized and silent. Generosity here wasn't about grand gestures. It was recurring donations, quiet scholarships, and a standing note with the school counselor. The kids contributed too. A giving jar where the 7-year-old chose quarterly causes. Helping became a rhythm, not a decision. You don't need big numbers, just a cause, automation, and a habit. The art of leaving margin. We always left 10 minutes earlier than needed. The answer? Because something always happens. A missing shoe, a spill, GPS chaos. Those extra minutes turned potential storms into breezes. Less rushing meant fewer tears. Margin wasn't pessimism. It was respect for reality. I started padding deadlines, runs, even conversations. 5 more minutes saved us from snapping at each other. Status is quiet. Stewardship is loud. The people who impressed me most didn't talk about money. They talked about stewardship of people, places, attention. They knew the house cleaner's coffee order. They thanked delivery drivers and landscapers. The kids wrote birthday cards with real stamps. It wasn't fleeter. It was a worldview. If something is in your care, you tend to it. Start small. Your inbox, your sleep, your plant. Care compounds. The social media myth and the real signal. Their Instagram? Unremarkable. The real signal? Invisible. The hum of calm mornings. Civil disagreements. Kids who knew what to expect. Adults who guarded attention like gold. Noise looks like wealth. Signal lives like it. What you can borrow today. No chef? No problem. Auto-pay 1 bill. Set a weekly grocery order. Create a default breakfast. Defend a 2-hour block for deep work or rest. Choose one boundary. No work calls after 7 p.m. or Saturday mornings for play. Give $5 weekly to a cause. Start a tiny post-mortem habit. Iterate. I didn't expect nannying to make me a better writer. But watching ordinary excellence behind the scenes changed how I build my life. Days, snacks, conversations about effort and time. Don't chase loud tells. Copy the quiet ones. That's where the real wealth hides. What's your plant-powered archetype? Ever wonder what your daily habits say about your deeper purpose and how they ripple out to impact the planet? This 90-second quiz reveals the plant-powered role you're here to play and the tiny shift that makes it even more powerful. 12 fun questions. Instant results. Surprisingly accurate.